the metropolis was devastated, its once majestic skyline transformed into jagged outlines beneath a crimson twilight. Plumes of smoke twisted into the darkened sky, marking the landscape. Amidst the debris lay the fallen warriors of Earth, soldiers who had bravely, yet unsuccessfully, resisted the overpowering forces of the Interstellar Alliance. Echoes of victory resonated from the extraterrestrial camps, their harsh voices a stark contrast to the haunting quiet of the war zone. General X of the Star Fleet observed from the fringe of a destroyed square, his quartet of luminescent eyes surveying the devastation. Encased in sleek, bioluminescent armor, he exuded an aura of indomitable assurance. His crew, diverse in species and appearance, reveled in their conquest. "We have triumphed," General X proclaimed, his tone rich with victory. "Earth is vanquished." These humans were tenacious, yet their resistance is now just dust under our boots. Cheers erupted among the cosmic warriors, their arms raised in triumph. They had earned this celebration. The conflict had been arduous. Earth's defenders, despite their technological shortcomings, had demonstrated surprising ingenuity. The humans had booby-trapped their cities, deployed makeshift EMPs, and initiated guerrilla strikes that had cost numerous extraterrestrial lives. However, sheer brute force and superior weaponry ultimately dominated. Among the wreckage, a figure remained still, partially hidden under twisted steel and scorched stone. Despite his battered state and soiled tactical attire, his breathing was steady yet subtle. Lieutenant Commander John Hawkeye K., a Navy SEAL, had endured when so many had perished, unconscious and overlooked. Fragments of the battle haunted his subconscious. He remembered issuing commands, witnessing the fiery destruction wrought by alien artillery, and his last desperate stand culminating in a devastating blast. The aliens presumed him perished, a simple oversight given humans' frailty by galactic standards. Yet, Hawkeye's training had equipped him to withstand, adapt, and most importantly, survive. Unbeknownst to the galactic commanders, a storm was brewing within their perceived triumph. As they paraded through the ruins, blind to the unyielding human spirit, their forces dismantled resistance networks, analyzed fragmented terrestrial communications, and devised plans for domination. To them, the conflict had concluded. But for Hawkeye, the battle was far from over. As dusk turned to a starless night, he stirred, pain coursing through him as he rose, his vision blurry. His communicator faintly picked up signals from Earth's remaining military forces. The messages were weak but imbued with hope. Clenching his jaw against the pain, he assessed his limited arsenal: a few scavenged magazines, a worn combat knife, and a lone explosive, meager, but sufficient. Slipping into the shadows, he moved with practiced stealth towards the alien celebration, their fatal error clear. They had underestimated humanity. By morning, the square lay silent once more, the extraterrestrial soldiers gone, leaving only sporadic patrols and mechanical sentinels. From his hidden vantage, Hawkeye analyzed their defenses, planning his next move. The war was ongoing, and as he vanished into the city's labyrinth, a resolute thought anchored him: never underestimate your opponent, a lesson the Star Fleet was about to learn harshly. Moving with stealthy precision, the ruins of downtown Chicago became his battleground, a stark reminder of human defiance. Each damaged structure and scorched facade narrated a tale of sacrifice, fueling his resolve. Exhausted yet mentally acute from years of SEAL training and unyielding determination, he surveyed the alien patrols from the shadows of a crumbling viaduct. Their armor emitted a soft glow, their movements nonchalant. They saw Earth as a conquered grave, but to Hawkeye, it was an active battlefield. His breath slowed as he strategized. 2 patrols, 4 warriors each, approached a concealed drainage duct. A slight smirk crossed his face. It wasn't much, but it was an opportunity. Drawing his knife, he merged with the shadows, striking swiftly. A metallic clang resounded, and before the nearest sentry could react, Hawkeye's blade had sealed its fate. As confusion ensued, he vanished back into the darkness, leaving terror in his wake. The alien troops issued orders in their rough language, their rifles scanning the area. Unfamiliar with such tactical, ruthless warfare, they fell one by one to Hawkeye's strategic assaults. By the time the final warrior fell, only lifeless bodies remained scattered among the ruins. Hawkeye salvaged what he could: energy cells, a basic translator, and a piece of alien armor. Limited resources, but he had long learned to make do. The translator intermittently transmitted alien chatter as he adjusted its settings, capturing talk of regrouping and perimeter defenses. The aliens planned cleanup operations, their arrogance masking the vulnerabilities in their defenses. Spread thin and overly dependent on automated systems, they were ripe for sabotage. Deep within the city, Hawkeye's mind raced. Guerrilla tactics were a SEAL's specialty, but this fight transcended mere survival. It was about shifting the balance, no matter how slim the chances. He needed intelligence, a way to exploit the extraterrestrials' weaknesses. Under the veil of night, he approached a Starfleet outpost, its structure rising ominously from the ruins, its surface pulsing with alien energy. Automated turrets and drones patrolled the perimeter. Observing from afar, Hawkeye noted the outpost's defenses and entry points, his SEAL training dissecting the challenge into manageable steps. Nothing was impossible. Using a scavenged alien panel to mask his thermal signature, he approached, bypassing defenses with painstaking caution. Inside, the air hummed with foreign power. He infiltrated a storage area, interfacing with the alien consoles using the stolen translator. The data he uncovered was chilling. The Starfleet wasn't merely occupying Earth, they were terraforming it, transforming the atmosphere into a toxic mix suitable for their biology. Humanity was being erased. Seizing all he could, Hawkeye downloaded critical information onto an Earth drive as he exited the outpost, his plan crystallizing. He couldn't confront the aliens alone, but he could disrupt their operations and mobilize Earth's remnants. For the first time in weeks, hope flickered within him. The aliens' grave mistake was underestimating a SEAL's resilience. As the outpost erupted behind him, his silhouette merged with the night. The conflict was far from concluded, and as he disappeared into the ruins, he clung to a singular thought: they had forgotten rule number 1. The strategy was audacious, but desperation was all humanity had left. John Hawkeye Kane hunkered down in the dim light of a deserted subway terminal, his command center camouflaged beneath debris and deceptive signals to thwart alien scanners. Gathered around him, a disparate group of survivors, ex-soldiers, engineers, and hardened civilians, eyed him with a blend of apprehension and resolve. Their numbers were meager compared to the Starfleet, but their spirit shone more intensely. He outlined the strategy on a holographic map cast on a fractured wall, his tone measured and clear. This isn't about overpowering them, we can't. But we can outsmart them. Their supply routes are exposed, their command centralized, and their terraforming gear is their vulnerable spot. We strike there, disrupt their processes, and make them suffer. A lean engineer named Carter leaned in, the map's blue hue casting shadows across his features. You believe we can disable their terraforming apparatus? Those units are heavily guarded. Hawkeye's eyes hardened. Guarded doesn't mean impregnable. They depend on predictable patterns, patterns we can manipulate. The plan relied on precision. They would target key alien facilities in a synchronized assault, focusing on the terraforming units. Disabling these would buy humanity time and compel the Starfleet to redirect resources. As the team dispersed to prepare, Hawkeye remained, his thoughts racing. He had faced dire situations before, but this was different. The survival of his species hung in the balance. The initial assault commenced at dawn. A convoy of alien supply vehicles wound through the city's debris-laden outskirts, their luminous cargo destined for the terraforming units. Hidden on a crumbling rooftop, Hawkeye aimed at the lead truck. Beside him, Carter feverishly synced a hijacked alien drone to their targeting system. "Ready," Carter murmured, tension evident in his voice. Hawkeye responded only with a nod, his finger tightening on the trigger. The plasma rifle discharged, igniting the lead vehicle in a burst of sparks and flames, its anti-gravity systems failing as it plummeted. The convoy scattered, but strategically placed mines detonated, wreaking havoc. Survivors emerged only to face Hawkeye's team, who engaged them with lethal precision. The success of the convoy raid signaled a citywide resistance. Coordinated attacks unfolded, sabotaging alien outposts and reducing towering structures to ruins. Hackers like Carter overloaded defenses, turning alien technologies against their creators. Leading from the front, Hawkeye executed each operation with meticulous care. In one clash, he baited an alien patrol into a trap-laden alley, their superior firepower turned against them. In another, he orchestrated a daring raid on a terraforming station, employing captured drones to disrupt their shields. The Starfleet, unprepared for such coordinated resistance, faltered, their commands muddled by urgent orders and contradictory reports. Yet, they were not completely unprepared. At a terraforming site, Hawkeye's team met fierce resistance. Plasma fire rained down as towering alien war machines advanced, their armaments carving destructive paths through the ruins. Trapped behind debris, Hawkeye evaluated their situation, outgunned and outmaneuvered. He glanced at Carter, who clutched a portable EMP device, his expression tense. "That device still operational?" Hawkeye inquired, nodding towards the EMP. Carter affirmed with a shaky nod, "It'll disable their shields, but only once." "That's all we require," Hawkeye declared, issuing rapid commands. As they orchestrated a diversion, he and Carter dashed through the debris, dodging detection until reaching an optimal position. "On my command," Hawkeye instructed, his voice calm amidst the turmoil. Activating the EMP, Carter unleashed a pulse that disrupted the war machine's shields. Seizing the moment, Hawkeye aimed an alien launcher, discharging a high-explosive round. The behemoth staggered, its frame collapsing in a fiery heap. Cheers broke out among the ranks, but Hawkeye urged them onward. "Regroup and advance," he commanded, "our work continues." By nightfall, the city reverberated with the echoes of resistance. Hawkeye's counterattack had sent ripples through the Starfleet, their meticulous plans unraveling under relentless assaults. Yet, he recognized this was merely the onset. As he stood atop a damaged skyscraper, surveying the distant glow of remaining alien installations, his thoughts shifted to the challenges ahead. The enemy would adapt, they always did. But so would he. Rule number 1, Hawkeye murmured to himself, his gaze fixed on the horizon: never underestimate your opponent. The war persisted, and Hawkeye was just beginning. Above Earth, the alien mothership loomed ominously, its vast angular form obscuring the stars, its presence a resonant hum that vibrated through anyone nearby. For the Starfleet, it symbolized supremacy; for John Hawkeye Kane, it represented a target. He crouched in the shadow of a destroyed transport at the edge of the alien landing area, his team, a diverse assembly of humanity's remaining warriors, behind him. Each bore the scars of Earth's downfall: amputated limbs, haunted visages, and tattered uniforms patched with alien materials, yet their determination remained undiminished. "This is the moment," Hawkeye stated, his voice subdued yet commanding. "We've targeted their supply lines, their outposts, their terraforming apparatus. Now, we strike at their core." The strategy was bold. Utilizing decoded alien credentials, they planned to infiltrate the mothership, disable its shields, and overload its power core. A suicide mission, acknowledged by all, yet no one hesitated as they advanced towards the entry. The air thickened near the mothership, laden with alien technology's hum. Hawkeye led, his rifle poised. As they neared the entrance, guarded by sleek, hovering sentry drones. He signaled a halt, and Carter stepped up, his hands steady as he connected a hacking device to a drone, circumventing its security. The drone paused, then turned on its counterparts, sparking a destructive exchange. "Well done," Hawkeye whispered, urging the team inside. The mothership's interior was cold, sterile, the walls pulsing with a strange luminescence. They moved silently, each turn a risk, each corridor a potential trap. They reached the central chamber, dominated by a massive suspended energy core, its power crackling in the air. Hawkeye directed the team to positions while Carter set the overload sequence. The rest guarded the entrances, their weapons ready. But the aliens were prepared. The first plasma bolt struck from above, igniting chaos as alien troops swarmed the chamber, their tactics precise and relentless. "Hold your ground," Hawkeye shouted, engaging the advancing foes. The chamber transformed into a maelstrom of light and noise, plasma bolts deflecting off surfaces as humans and aliens clashed fiercely. Hawkeye maneuvered with practiced skill, each move reflecting his extensive training and determination. He sought cover, countering an imposing alien wielding a radiant blade. The foe fell, replaced by another. "How much longer, Carter?" Hawkeye called amid the noise. 30 seconds, Carter responded, his tone strained. "Make it 20. The alien commander emerged, towering above, its armor glowing ominously, its voice booming in its native language. The translator struggled, rendering phrases about human resistance and futility. Hawkeye emerged from cover, his eyes locked on the commander, his expression fierce. "You still don't understand," he stated, defiance in his tone. The commander paused, seemingly amused. Hawkeye's grin was wild, fearless. "Rule number 1, he declared, never underestimate your opponent." With that, he hurled an alien grenade towards the core. It exploded mid-air, sending a shockwave through the chamber, conduits rupturing, the energy field destabilizing. "Go, now!" Hawkeye urged, grabbing Carter, leading the retreat. The team covered their escape with a volley of fire as the mothership trembled, its structure failing, alarms blaring, the once steady hum turning into a catastrophic roar. Outside, they raced towards a waiting dropship, the ground quaking. They boarded just as the mothership exploded, its debris raining down like fiery meteors. As they ascended, Hawkeye watched the alien colossus's burning remnants. Earth remained shattered, but that night, humanity had asserted its valor. He faced his team, survivors all. "They'll return," he stated, his tone grave. "But next time, they'll be wiser." For the first time in weeks, a small, fleeting smile crossed his face. The war was not over, but humanity had demonstrated it would not quietly fade away, not now, not ever.